cool. So I have time to put my contacts in since literally no one is here. I've never done a live using my phone before, so this will be interesting. I've only ever done it on my computer. For people who are watching this back as a video and not as a live, I'm doing a makeup look with the NYX Cosmetics palette, but that's like a full cosplay look. So basically I'm testing whether or not you can actually use basically just this and a couple other things to make like a full, do like a full cosplay look with just the NYX stuff. If I do actually get people watching this, I'll at the end I'm gonna like actually get into cosplay and I'll let you guys pick my outfit. So hopefully some people show up. I'm not like super popular and I haven't posted in a while, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, I'm gonna get started. Warning for whoever's watching, I'm about to put contacts in. If that freaks you out, look away. I don't know why I can't like see the chat. Like I said, I've never done it on my phone before, so this is gonna be a test. But like I said, I am gonna put contacts in, so if that freaks you out, please just be aware. I will be touching my eyeball. Hello. I did start this live and I said at the end of this I'm gonna actually get into like a complete cosplay, and if there's enough people I will let you guys vote on my outfit. So I don't know either, my dude. Maybe you like aliens. I like aliens. Slippery little buggers. If you have any questions about what I'm doing, feel free to ask. Obviously right now I'm just putting contacts in, which is pretty boring, but I will eventually like be doing like full body paint and stuff. So if you ever have questions, or if you have questions about like how I made my costume, if you follow me on Instagram, or if you've seen any of my other videos, or if you've watched any of my other videos, and you know like other costumes I've done, questions about those, feel free to ask them as well. This guy just does not want to go in. Oh, thank you. I haven't played piano in a really long time. I don't play piano often because the last time I played piano was probably, I don't know, 16. I did take piano for 12 years though, which is a really long time. I just never really liked it that much. I always wanted to play the harp, but harps are really expensive, so my parents did not want to pay for a harp in middle school. For a middle schooler to play harp. It's kind of, and I totally get it. Like I also would not want to pay for a middle schooler to play harp. What if they didn't like it and then they returned it and like decided they didn't want to do it and you bought like $1,000 harp? That's insane. Are you here from like my Hamilton video of me playing piano, or just like watching me like play other random stuff. I played a lot of stuff a long time ago. I used to do like more casual like vlog content, and then I stopped because YouTube doesn't work the way it used to. Okay, now that those are in, we can actually do some fun stuff. So, these are two of the things that I'm using that are not from the NYX Cosmetic product line, as well as a primer. And I'm doing that because I am using the NYX Cosmetic like body paint stuff, and I've heard mixed things about whether or not it permanently stains your skin. Not permanently, but like it like stains your skin for like a couple days, and I don't really want to be blue for more than this evening. So I'm gonna take some steps so that I do not become blue for more than this evening. And the first step for that is always gonna be primer. You should use primer with any makeup, obviously, but like it's really important if you're doing any kind of body paint because it basically protects your skin from whatever heavy duty makeup you're putting on it, but it also makes your makeup stay on better, which is pretty important if you're doing body paint. I recently got this Power Grip primer from e.l.f. I'm not particular in what kind of primer I use. I know some people are like, I must use this specific brand, but here's the thing. I don't really do that much makeup outside of cosplay. And if I do makeup outside of cosplay, I don't use foundation because I have extremely sensitive skin. So I don't really like to spend a lot of money on primer since it's going to expire and I'm not going to use it in time, and so I just don't. I just buy cheap stuff. I don't know. I just prefer cheap stuff. What I'm doing right now is I'm putting on a Mehron cream-based makeup. This is just like a regular like white cream makeup. You would not find it as a foundation. You have to buy it on the internet. And I'm gonna get a sponge because a sponge is pretty good for doing what I'm about to do. So you blend it out. It's very, very blendy. This Mehron stuff, this Mehron cream makeup, it like is super oily. It's not my favorite cream makeup. I prefer Ben Nye personally. I think Ben Nye water-based paints are terrible. They have not enough pigment, but I think their grease paint is exceptional. I think Mehron grease paint is super thin and not really designed for like any kind of full coverage situation, but it does provide a nice barrier layer and a little bit of like a like solid foundation. It's kind of works like a foundation almost for if you're doing body paint. I was always taught, I actually went to theater school. I don't know how many people on my channel know that about me, but I went to theater school and I was always taught that you should always give yourself a white base. We used to use clown white, but clown white is extremely pigmented and extremely thick, and it really clogs your pores. And if you do it more than like once in like every 2 months, it really messes up your skin, especially if you're someone who, like me, who has naturally oily skin. I have naturally oily skin, so I really don't like to add anything to it that's gonna make it more greasy. But I do find grease paint to be less damaging to my skin than water-based paint, so I always use it as a layer. What did I do today? I worked on pieces of this costume. I actually made this like little turtleneck thingy because I didn't want to paint my whole neck. My mom's been playing Dreamlight Valley, the game, the video game. I don't know if you guys know anything about that. And I've been watching her play it. It makes me motion sick because I'm extremely easily motion sick. But I like watching other people play video games. So like I watch a lot of YouTube gamers, but I don't really play a lot of video games. So my mom was playing Dreamlight Valley, and I was watching her play Dreamlight Valley and very thoroughly enjoying it. I do play Animal Crossing. I haven't played Animal Crossing recently. Oh, I recently caught a legendary in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, which is the first Pokemon game I've ever played. So that's kind of a fun fact about me. I didn't have a DS or anything as a kid, so when I got a Switch for the first time, one of the first games I got besides Animal Crossing was Pokemon. And I played my first ever Pokemon game on it. And I know you said you don't know anything about makeup, but I'm letting everyone else know that I'm powdering right now, which is what keeps my grease makeup from smearing all over everything. And hey, by the end of this live, you'll know tons of things about makeup if you stay for the whole thing. Yeah. What else did I do recently? I did work. I worked. That's not very fun. But I feel like everyone has to do that, right? We all work. So, I watched World Cup with my dad. We watched the Morocco versus Portugal game, which was fun. Morocco beating Portugal was a huge upset, right? I'm not really a sports person, but I do really like watching the World Cup sometimes because it's kind of like watching the Olympics. It's very, like, big and, like, worldwide. And it's also like one of those things where if you're not watching it and other people are talking about it, then it's weird that like you're the only person who's talking about it. Oh yes. Well, if you've watched all of my cosplay videos, then surely you must know other characters I cosplay and have thoughts or questions about it, right? I cosplay a lot of people, although I guess I probably haven't posted as much about my cosplay on YouTube as I've posted other weird things. And thank you for saying I'm cute. That's a very nice compliment. Okay, so I'm going to try to put this blue makeup on me now. Are you a Star Wars fan? Is that where you saw my stuff? A lot of people came from my Star Wars stuff, I recognize. A lot of people really like my Star Wars stuff. Especially my, like my Shakti and like, Leku type things, so like the Twi'leks and stuff. I know a lot of people really are interested in that. This actually has surprisingly better blending than I thought it would. It's very kind of sheer, but as a lot of people said, a little bit does go a really long way. So be gentle with it. It's very blue. This is the NYX body paint stuff. I'm interested to see how well it like stays blended or if it's gonna get patchy. Is there anyone else? Yeah, I see there's 4 people. So I know there's more people in the chat. You all just silent lurkers. This is what my dad is watching. Thanks, Dad. I know I had 17 people on my Instagram say that they wanted to see this. I don't see you all here now. So has anyone seen the trailer for the movie in this chat, besides obviously my parents who've seen it because I bombard them with it at every turn? I have tickets to see it this week. No, girls don't usually do all of this. Girls, probably what I did with the white cream would be like the equivalent of like a woman doing foundation, and then she would probably powder it and then just leave it. I'm doing another layer because, like I said, I want to protect my skin from this and I don't want it to like accidentally turn my whole face blue for longer than necessary. Because some people have experienced this staining. I don't have my costumes right now, but if you stay till the end, I can show you my costumes. I don't really want to go and grab them when I'm got blue hands. So I try to keep them not blue because they're very expensive and I love them and I want them to be nice and stay nice. This is my, if you want to see this part of my costume, this is my like skin that I made. It's all tights that I like altered to be tights. Less tighty. I guess they're still tights, but they're like a bodysuit now. And it's all stuff from We Love Colors, which was very generous and sent me a lot of stuff that I used to make this costume. Because I did my first costume and I bought all my stuff from them, and then they were like, hey, we really like your costume. Do you want to do more costumes with our stuff? And I was like, yes, I would love to do more costumes with your stuff. Can you send me some? And they did, and they were very wonderful. And I love their stuff. And they have this like line of dye now that I like used to like dye all the stripes onto this. The first version of the Navi that I made, I like painted everything. It took forever, and I had to wear it while I was painting it, and that was super difficult. For everyone who's just joining, I'm doing a NYX Cosmetics look that's going to be like a full cosplay look using mostly, if not all, the stuff from the NYX Avatar Way of Water release, makeup release. And if you missed the beginning, this will be a video on my channel afterwards and you can watch it there. This stuff is like super patchy. It does not blend out super great. So now everyone knows what it's like to use their like paint stuff as like actual makeup and not just like for swatching. It is very blue, but it's really dark for what I'm used to. I usually do stuff a little bit lighter because I'm really pale, and like when I put really dark stuff on me, I feel like I'm like look weird. But it seems to be, I mean, it's really patchy. That's all I can think of right now. Maybe I can get it to blend a little bit more if we do layers. Like, look at how patchy it is. It's like it was designed for an airbrush, but it's not an airbrush material. Maybe if I use a beauty blender, it will work better instead of a sponge. Let's try that. But first we're gonna powder this layer, and then we'll do another layer with a beauty blender. Let's see how that goes. Oh, it does powder down a little bit better. That's good. Oh. The patchiest makeup in the world. So for some context, if you've ever seen my other makeup video where I do my Navi, it does not look this patchy or this light colored or weird. I don't know, there's something weird about this stuff. But I'm doing it all so that you guys don't have to. And you can try it and not be patchy. Okay, let's try it with a beauty blender. Sometimes beauty blenders fix everything. Who doesn't love a beauty blender? When I first got a beauty blender, I did not know that you had to get it wet to use it. I did not realize that that's what you were supposed to do with it. And I just was like putting it on my face, just like naked, bare, undampened. It was very, very odd. Okay, here's what we're gonna do this time. We're just gonna do this. And then we're gonna try to blend it out. Ah, that worked a lot better. Well, now everyone knows that you must use a beauty blender with this product to get it to go on evenly. Actually, now that I'm doing it with this, it is going on really evenly, and it's a really good color. It's pretty close to my tights, which I was slightly worried about because it's hard to gauge what color it will be. And a little bit of this really does go a long way, as you can see. Oh yeah, I have seen Wicked several times actually. I love Wicked. I think they're probably a little bit more efficient about putting her makeup on than I am about putting my makeup on, that's for sure. But they're also a theater company, so they have a lot more surprise. Cultsy! Okay. Love Broadway. Well, I love the idea of Broadway. The practicality of Broadway is less so. I was really late too. I also had technical difficulties. I didn't start until 9:10, so you haven't missed too much. I was just debating how I don't like how patchy this is, but I got it to be not patchy. The secret to get the NYX stuff to be not patchy is to use a beauty blender. It doesn't like a sponge. So if you're ever planning on using the like body paint, just make sure that you're using a beauty blender with it and not a latex sponge. Sometimes a beauty blender is good. I have conflicting opinions about beauty blenders, honestly. I don't find them to be super helpful when I'm using any kind of makeup that's not like a natural foundation, like a foundation that's like for cosmetic makeup. If you're using like any kind of theater makeup, beauty blenders don't work super great for them, which is super annoying actually, because a lot of my makeup is theater makeup. Oh yay! The tights that I'm wearing are neon blue right now. But my original costume that I wear the most often is actually a light blue, so. Fun facts about my cosplays. These tights I actually dyed, I mentioned that earlier, but the ones that I wear in my light blue version are actually hand painted, and I was saying that I had to wear them all while I was painting them, which was a massive pain because they don't really paint doesn't really stretch, you know? Okay, where am I naked? I think the dye is easier in some ways, but you do need more types of equipment for it. So I feel like I look like I'm from the Blue Man Group. Blue Man Group. But I feel like the dye is easier because you can get it much faster and much more comfortably. The paint actually does kind of make like a crusty texture on it, which is not very fun. But you do need and this is what I will always tell everyone all the time, you have to have a pot that is not a pot that you use for cooking. Please, 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 please never ever use a pot that you cook in to dye anything. I see people doing this on TikTok all the time. I see it all over the place, and it makes me so stressed out, for one, because they could potentially be slowly poisoning themselves. And it also really frustrates me because it says on the bottle of red dye, or whatever it is that you're using, do not use it in the same thing you cook in. And people still do that all the time. And I'm like, do you want to die? Is that what you're going for? Do you want to slowly give yourself cancer? And I was professionally taught how to dye. Like I said, I went to theater school. So I have an awareness of what things are dangerous that have kind of become household goods. Bleach is one of those things where bleach, if it was produced today, would simply never ever be legal. It's way too toxic. But since it was made in the 50s, we just keep using it because it was made in the 50s, and it doesn't really matter. We've become so accustomed to it being part of our house that it just like is part of our house now. So yeah, you can actually get a what's it called, like a jam pot or something. I don't remember. My dad bought one at Walmart for like $20 when I was like, I want to dye things at home instead of like going. I go to school in Chicago. Instead of like waiting, and during the pandemic, I was home because everyone was home during the pandemic, right? And instead of like waiting to get back to when school opened, I was like, I want to dye things right now. And he was like, cool, we'll buy a pot so that you can do that. And it was like a $20 jam making pot from the like Walmart down the road. And it works great. It's all I use it for. And I'm super, super careful not to get dye in like and clean and everything where I'm cooking, because dye has loose particles. An art pot should be fine. As long as you're not like eating out of it at any point, you're good. And most dye is not toxic as long as you're not, like I said, eating it or like try not to inhale it. Dye is permanent. But what's interesting about dye is because it's like a loose powder, oftentimes the powder is what hurts you. So not when it's wet, it's fine, it's totally dormant. I don't know if you guys know anything about chemistry, but like it's a very chemistry type thing. When it is like wet, it doesn't hurt you anymore because it's wet. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay. This is going pretty good. I wear this up like this when I have it on, so it's not too good of a match, but it's not a bad match either. So I give it the paint a solid 6 out of 10. It was really hard to blend. It took a lot of layers. Very annoying. Let's hope it doesn't stain. I don't want to be blue for several days. I mean, I like being blue. This is my favorite costume, but I wouldn't want to be blue for a really long time. It'd be kind of weird. So I'm gonna try to clean my lips off. My ears are supposed to be blue, but I do have a prosthetic that goes on top of them, so they get mostly covered. But I was saying the dye is like, when it's in powder, is the most dangerous, kind of like how fiberglass is dangerous, because if you breathe it, it gets stuck in your lungs, because your lungs, the inside of your lungs is wet, and the dye, because it's a powder, wants to stick to the inside of your lungs. So you just have to be careful not to breathe it. And if you do have a dye, most dyes are not sold in powder form anymore. Like you can't really buy it unless you're buying bulk, which I can't imagine that like someone who's doing it casually would be buying bulk. So you're probably fine. The thing is that if you're dyeing these tights, make sure that you're using a dye that works on nylon. It's a different kind of dye than the dye that will work on cotton or a dye that will work on polyester, because nylon is more similar to a plant fiber than it is to a polyester or even a cotton. It's more similar to like a rayon or like a silk. It's very interesting. Okay, now that is slightly better, I'm going to powder it, and hopefully it will get a little bit lighter if it's been powdered. Like I said earlier before you got here that I'm only using a couple things that are not from the NYX Cosmetics. I use a lot of Mehron products, so I used a Mehron powder, and I also use a Mehron white paint I used underneath, hopefully to prevent it from staining my skin. It's always kind of risky putting any body paint that you're not familiar with, that you haven't tested a lot, on your face. I don't know if you guys have ever seen those TikToks of people going, get it off, I can't take it off, and they have body paint that's like permanently stained their face. But if you do a layer of stuff underneath, you're less likely to get a stain. hopefully no staining. Can definitely, I live by that. Hopefully no staining. My life is I hope this doesn't stain. The worst stain I've ever gotten was actually from Shakti because she has like reddish orange skin. And fun fact about red body paint, but it will stain you like nothing else. And I put several layers of white underneath it. I had a primer on. I was like so ready to like not have red face for the next, I don't know, 5 days or whatever. And no, I still had a red face. And it was weird because it would stain like here, but also like here. Not like in the places that you'd like expect staining, which is like in crevices, right? But it was staining me like in open areas. And I just, oh, such a bad experience. And I don't even remember what paint I was using for it, so I can't even be like, no, don't use that ever again, because it was so long ago that I like forgot. I just remember like I had to change out of it on the convention floor. Not on the convention floor, in my friend's hotel room, I had to change out of it because they were going to a rave and I just could not wear the headpiece any longer. It was killing me. The headpiece weighs, for my Shakti costume, weighs about 12 pounds, which is not a lot, but it is a lot on your head and your neck. So I had to take it off to go to the rave because I couldn't be in it for more than 8 hours. I was gonna have some serious pain in the next day if I did that. So I changed and I couldn't get the red off of my skin, and I ended up going to this rave just like tinted orange. It was really unfortunate for everyone involved, and really unfortunate for my friend's hotel room, as their hotel room at the end of that experience was bright red. The like shower drain was red too. And I felt really bad because I was like, oh, I hope they don't like try to like make you pay for the drain or something. Okay, so I have a question for you guys. Should I do a look that's more inspired by Natiri, or should I do a look that's more inspired by someone like Drea? So basically, should I do like the Metkayina type Navi, or should I do the like Ometakaya forest type Navi, because they have a different stripe look. And I'm gonna do stripes and contouring next. And I'd love a comment in the chat. And I don't know if it will show me the chat if I click on it. Oh, Metkayina. Okay, we can do that. That means that the markings will be more green because they have slightly more green markings. Let's see. I'm gonna try to contour. Before I do stripes, I like to contour. So let's see if I can use, I'm gonna try to only use stuff from this palette and from the other stuff that they have and not pull out my makeup, because I'm deeply tempted to, but I'm gonna try to use only the stuff that they have. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm gonna try. And it might be really interesting. Oh, okay, these do actually like blend into the colors that they have. That's good. This makeup is still hella patchy, but that's okay. They actually, in terms of like highlighting and stuff, these two I think are pretty good. So this like body paint that they have is like super teal. Yeah, I don't know if I can do that. It's like way too patchy. Hold on. We're gonna fill in this body paint with some of the stuff that I normally use. It is too patchy for me. So some of the stuff that I normally use is I use Ben Nye. The color is called Cosmic Blue. It's pretty dark, but you blend it in with white. It looks pretty good. So I then use this Macaron cream white that I have because, like I said it's earlier in the video, it's like super thin. Yeah, there we go. No, it would work good if you were doing like a Halloween thing, or like, I mean, I think it would even work really good if you just wanted to use it for like the stripes and you were painting it on with a brush, but it is not like, it's just not smooth. Like you can see how it's like really kind of patchy. And if you've seen my cosplays, I don't do patchy. I prefer not to be patchy. It ruins the illusion. And this color, this Bentonite Cosmic Blue, is super pigmented and is almost exactly the same color as the body paint that they have. So, not to diss NYX or anything. I love NYX. I use a lot of, one of the main palettes that I use to do my Navi makeup is a NYX palette. So, super supportive of NYX and their products. I just don't know if they make the best foundation. This is the palette that I use to do all of my contouring and a lot of my eye makeup, because it has a lot of really good colors, if you can see. Those blues are stellar. And the pinks as well, which are really good for like the noses and stuff like that they have. I got a comment the other day on my TikTok that really both made me kind of frustrated and made me kind of laugh a lot, because I got a comment that said that Navi don't have pink noses. When are people going to realize that Navi don't have pink noses? And I was like, did we watch the same movie? I'm pretty sure they have pink noses. It's part of what makes them endearing and cute, is that they have cute little pink noses and little cat noses. I was like, my guy, are you sure we watched the same thing? I feel like maybe not. Of course, I replied to their comment and was like, actually, I think they do have pink noses. I don't think I would spend several hours looking at Soraya in high definition images for her to not have a pink nose and for me to make that mistake in my makeup. And then, of course, the person had nothing to say to that. Okay, this is better as well because you can use, once you put down the Ben Nye, you can use the cream, the white cream, to kind of create your highlights and shadows, right? You can give your face better definition. And you can, yeah, you can see how much better it is already in terms of patchiness. It's much more solid in color. Also, fun fact about Ben Nye, you can get them on Amazon. Oh, thank you. Yeah. So, I like watching people do makeup. I find it to be really soothing. I also like watching people like silently play Animal Crossing or like another kind of like very easy, subtle, and gentle video game. I like those a lot too. My favorite thing is there's this channel called Ambient Worlds. Yeah, of course. That does it does sounds from Pandora, and they're like ambient little sounds. And all you do is you just sit there and you listen to the sounds of Pandora in like ambient noise. And I use it to fall asleep. It does feel a little bit scary sometimes because you can definitely hear like scary monsters, but okay. Yeah, that was the right move, using another body paint. And now you can see that my face no longer A, looks like a skeleton, nor B, is inconsistently not the same color. And after I powder this, it will go down to being even more consistent of a color. So, if you're looking for a good body paint, I will always recommend a Ben Nye cream paint, but I will also, if you don't want to use cream paint because you have really oily skin and you're worried that it will just slop off, I will also recommend Mehron Paradise paints, which I have here as well. This is not the right color, but this is a Mehron Paradise paint, and basically you just get it wet. And fun fact about aquacolor paints or water-based paints, if you use this sponge instead of a foundation brush or anything other than this sponge, you will get a much more even coverage. This is one of the things I learned in school that I wish someone had told me. It's called an aqua sponge, or it's just called like a water makeup sponge. Again, you can find it on Amazon. They're not super cheap. They're like $10 for one. Mine's been cut in half so that I have two. but it is worth every penny. You will just get such a smooth consistency, and it is what I use to get all of my makeup nice and smooth. So 10 out of 10. Would recommend getting a sponge, because you can even use that with something like your like typical Amazon like cheap body paint, and it will help it get more even than just like trying to use a brush. Water-based paints and brushes do not go well together. They're enemies. The way that me and prosthetics are enemies. I can never get prosthetics to stay on my face. In fact, I made a nose prosthetic for a video that I have sitting in my queue that I have not yet posted. And half of the video is me fighting with it, and the other half of the video is me ripping it off of my face and trying to fix it. And eventually I just caved and I didn't even use it. I like stopped using it and ended up making a scar wax nose, which I'm quite confident in, but not the most efficient thing to be doing. And I don't recommend doing that if you're short on time. So yeah. So now you can kind of see how much smoother my skin is. Well, we now know that the NYX body paint, not acceptable for a full face. Details only. Oh, trial and error. Okay. Oh, and the secret to powdering is to have like a loose powder and then to also have a compact powder so that you can do both. Because you want to bake a grease makeup, but you also want to be able to like touch it up in places where it's still sticky, but without like dumping powder on your face like I just did. And eventually, as you're powdering, you'll find a spot where you missed. Like right here on my chin. And you just gotta go back in and gently tap some more. Yeah. And then when you do that, that's when you use your pressed powder instead of your loose powder, because you don't want to have to brush excess powder off of those areas. You just want to be able to tap a little bit into those spaces where you've missed stuff. And it's good to get in the creases of your nose without like snorting it. I think it's really funny after I do body paint and I take a shower, or I'll like blow my nose and like my snot will be the color of my body paint. Again, it was really gross when I do anything that's not like blue. Blue is you're very clear, like, oh yes, that's body paint. But when it's like green or like red, you're like, oh my god, what's wrong with me? Do I need to go to the doctor? Cool. So now we're actually going to do contouring because we have a nice even complexion. And this is actually a surprisingly good color for the tights. They're a little bit more green, but they're always going to be a little bit more green because I don't know what it is about this specific color of tights, but they're always like super green. No matter what I do, I'm like, my face is not green enough. But I'm going to put my body paint away so that it does not get all over everything, because it will. That's the other thing about doing body paint. It will end up in places that you did not expect. You will find it, and you will be like, why is it in my living room? How did it get there? When did I track it into the living room? I'm also going to wash my hands, because this is what my hands look like after the end of that. The best soap you can use to get grease paint off of things, just FYI, if you do get it on something you don't want it on, is Dawn. Dawn is your miracle soap. It will get grease paint off of everything. Dawn will also get grease out of your clothes if you use like a little bit in certain areas. I'm just giving you guys all kinds of fun facts that I learned in theater school. Dawn is also the best at surprisingly getting rust out of things. So if you have like a rust stain on something for some reason, Dawn gets it out. One of my mentors taught me that, and I was like, really, Dawn gets rust out? And he was like, yeah. I was like, Cool. Thanks, Randy. Okay, now we're actually back to contouring. Give ourselves some shadows. Those are some really dark shadows, and we're gonna hope that they blend out. Yeah. And then I like to contour my nose kind of differently when I do Navi and I'm not wearing a prosthetic. I like to contour the darkest part down from where the crease of my eye is, the corner of my eye, because it makes your nose look wider. And Navi have these like really flat, wide noses, right? So we'll do that. And even though your nose isn't flat, like obviously from my profile, my nose is not flat, it will kind of from the front give the impression that your nose is flat, even if it's not. I have a very pointy nose. Every time I do this cosplay, it makes me extremely aware of how pointy my nose is. I got a comment the other day that someone on my video said that I look beautiful with or without makeup, and I was wearing this costume, and I had to laugh a little bit because I had this thought of like, I don't look anything like this outside of the makeup. Like when I'm wearing this makeup, I look like a completely different person. And I know that because when I went to a con one time, I was sitting in line for a competition, and someone looked at me and they said, "How old are you?" And I said, "Guess." And they said that I was 30. Or they said 29. It was something like really outrageous, and at the time I was like 16. And I was like, I don't think that I look 30, even in this costume. But maybe. I definitely don't look my age, I feel like. I kind of become ageless in this makeup and this look, which I love. I love that I become ageless. It really is kind of empowering. And I love this costume because it makes me feel really cool. I feel like a boss bitch, if you will. I love feeling like a boss bitch. Of course, I always look like a smurf leading into it, and then I get the full thing on. I'm like, oh yeah, now I look cool. But like starting off, I always look ridiculous. And I'll walk out in the middle of what I'm doing, and my mom will be like, you look terrifying. And I will be like, yes, I do look a little bit terrifying. You are correct, Mama. I contour my, like, I don't know what this part of your forehead is called, this weird corner area. And I also like to put contour right here on my hairline, because if you're wearing a wig, it makes your forehead look smaller. And I don't particularly like the size of my forehead. You do you. Everyone has their own things that they don't like about themselves. And just because you don't like something about yourself doesn't mean that you don't like yourself. But everyone has things that they, don't necessarily like about themselves. And that's okay. Okay, that's not going to work as a highlighter. But we have learned that. We'll buff that out. And we're going to use an actual highlighter. What about the one called Wood Sprite, which I think is one of my favorite colors on this palette. I love it. It's so pretty. It's teal. And it's lovely. Ah, yes, there we go. That's a good highlighter. I love me a good teal color. And then, like I said, I do contour my nose kind of weird, so we're going to put it not on the top of my nose, but to the side to make it, again, look wider. Cool. And we're going to put a little bit right here. Not a lot, just a gentle touch. And then we're going to put a little bit right here. And then we'll put a little bit right on the cheekbones, of course. And I use my fingers a lot. I realize a lot of people don't recommend that you do that, but I prefer to use my fingers. Especially with body paint, I find if I use a brush too often, it like takes the body paint with it. But what we will use this unobtainium color for is underneath my eyes. I don't like to get body paint too close to my eyes because you're not supposed to get things super close to your eyeballs. Especially things that are greasy and or liquid. It's just kind of risky. But this is quite similar in color to the makeup, And so it kind of just naturally connects the makeup to my eye, right? Makes it look like it's all the same color. I love how Navi have like super deep set eyes. I think it's super pretty. I get that it's supposed to make them look alien, but like, I just think it's pretty. Okay, now I'm gonna use some more highlighter, but I'm gonna use the highlighter from the like, what's it called? Pandora in Paradise palette. I'm gonna use, it's called Pearl of the Sea. I'm gonna do some of that too. Because I think it's shiny. I want it to be shiny. Oh, it is a little bit shiny. Okay, cool. You can't see it great on the video, but you can totally see that it's shiny in person. Okay, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna test this setting powder that they've given us, setting spray that they've given us, the Met Keyina Mist, which I feel like is probably pretty similar to every other kind of setting spray that you get, which is just like an alcohol-based setting spray. It doesn't smell like alcohol though, which is pretty impressive because in my experience, setting sprays always smell like alcohol and they make your eyes burn a little. So we'll see how well it holds is a better question, because it can smell really good and it can work a little bit, but if it's anything that's trying to hold body paint is always kind of difficult. So it does smell good though. It smells kind of like salt water, like the ocean, which is kind of nice and refreshing because every other setting spray I've used has either been like hairspray, which everyone knows what hairspray smells like, or like, I don't know, the NYX one, or not NYX one, the Mevron one that I have, like, it smells like rubbing alcohol, and I spray it on my face. I'm like, oh, I smell like rubbing alcohol now, which is gross. No one needs that. Cool. So let's do some more like base type stuff. I'm gonna give myself a little bit of blush now, because one thing I think is really fun about the Met Keyina is that they actually get like tan, and you can see if you're looking at high-res images like little pink cheeks and stuff, and I think that's super cute. I don't know what color she is. Let's start with the Ilu Kiss, which is the lightest color, and see how that looks, and then go from there. Because we can always go darker. It's hard to go lighter once you've gone on. Yeah, that's pretty cute. A little rosy cheek. Blush is really one of those things that I think for a really long time was underrated, not used a lot, and it's coming back now. But for a while, people did not use blush, and I was like, why would you not use blush? Blush is what makes you look alive. And especially in theater, we always talk about that. Blush is what makes you not look dead when you're on stage. So I never understood people that would like not use blush. They're like, well, I don't want to. It makes me red. And I'm like, I have a naturally red face and I still use blush. Come on now. Okay. I think that's it for this one. Let's do some stripes. Met Keyina have really, really soft, gentle stripes. So I think we'll start with the Flantre Flora, which is this one, this sparkly one in the middle, because it's kind of the right color. They have really greenish stripes, and I like to like kind of outline it with a lighter color and then come back in with a darker one. That way if you make a mistake, you can kind of like make it work. It's one thing I have learned in doing my Soraya makeup, which I did recently. It is really hard to match like an existing stripe situation. Like I was trying to get it to look like her stripes, and I was like, this is really hard. Like, why is this so hard? The other thing is that since Navi don't technically have eyebrows, and I didn't block my eyebrows for this video because that is a pain. I'm just gonna go over my eyebrows with the color that I'm doing the stripes. That way they look like they're kind of part of the stripe thing. I do love Kiri's little eyebrows though. And I love that the avatars have, what's it called? They have 5 fingers instead of 4, right? Instead of the 4, because they don't have like, Navi don't have like a pinky, basically. And I love the scene in the trailer when Loak is saying, I'm an outcast, and he's holding his hand up. And I don't know if that's incidental because I haven't seen the movie yet. Or if it's just like part of the story and that's what they're going for. Like, yes, cool. Use the fact that he is like literally visibly an outcast. That would be fun. I'm excited to see what happens there. I'm also just really excited to see Soraya in real life on the big screen. Okay, so the other thing about Mechina stripes is that they are kind of connected because they're more water ripple-y instead of like a tiger stripe. So you kind of want to connect them and make them look like they're all kind of flowing into like a denser area under your hair. And my stripes are never symmetrical. They never match. But that's okay. It's for the vibes. Not necessarily for the accuracy. Although if you're going for accuracy, kudos to you. Couldn't be me. At least not in the face paint 100%. It's really, really hard. Especially when you start getting into like the dots and stuff. That is super challenging. And I did not even think about how I was going to do the dots. Oh, we'll get to that when we get to that. I had a request, and I don't know if this person is here or not, but I had a request to do Moat's makeup. And I love Moat, and I love her design. She's stunning. If I were to do her makeup, it might be the hardest thing I've ever done. She has not only extremely intricate stripe patterns, but she also has extremely intricate bioluminescent dots that make like pictures on her face, which is super cool. And I love that. I'm afraid to attempt it. I'm not sure that it would turn out good. And I don't like to not be good at what I do. Yeah, she does have an extremely wide face. Although I do think we have similar forehead sizes. So that might work to my advantage. But she definitely has, like, her eyes are extremely far apart. Like, her pupil would probably be where the end of my eye is, right? And that's where the real challenge would come. Okay, so next what I'm going to use is this, what's it called? Biolume Night, because it's like the next shade below this one, and I'm going to fill in darker parts of the lines, and I'm using this, like, skinny brush. We'll see if this works, because I don't know how pigmented this thing is. Oh, that works okay. Well, it's really shiny and not super visible. Well, maybe what we'll do is we'll use... I just realized that one of these is called Sahelu with You. I think that's kind of funny. Maybe we'll use the Mechina Reef, and we'll really just lean into the green and make it super green. Yeah, that's the right choice. So I'm just going to gently outline the stripes because the Mechina stripes actually are darker on the outside and lighter on the inside. Again, like a ripple. And that's kind of what I'm going for. These are not going to be the cleanest stripes I've ever done, but that's okay. They're very subtle. a little gentle. And then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to create some darker lines just using this that are thinner than the ones that I filled in. just to kind of even out things so that they do look somewhat symmetrical. Because, like I said, I don't make them super symmetrical. But you gotta find ways so that it doesn't look weird on your face. What do we think of the top? I think it looks pretty good, considering I'm not using any of my normal supplies. I probably will use fake eyelashes. That is one thing I will keep. The fake eyelashes just really make your eyes look bigger, which you really need when you're doing Navi, because they just have these massive eyeballs. They're huge. And they're like, they glow. They're like beautiful. Does anyone have any questions for me? I realize there's only 3 people watching, 2 of which are probably my parents. But if you have any questions or any thoughts, or like, even if you just want to like talk about your ideas about the movie, or like, I don't know, is there like a premiere situation, like an event happening where you live? I don't have anything happening where I live, and it kind of makes me sad. I wish that they were doing some kind of event. I think that would be fun. I was recently going over whether or not I should cosplay to the movie theater or not. Like, I really want to, but I'm deeply afraid that they won't let me in if I do. Because I live in America. And when you live in America, people do things, crazy things, like bring bombs in places and stuff. I would never. I don't even know how I would do that. But, like, they don't let people, like, wear masks and dress up and stuff because they're worried that they're gonna, like, explode something. So, I don't know if they would let me in if I wore a cosplay. But I think I might try anyways. Because it's only gonna come out, it's only gonna release once, right? Although I said that about the first movie, and here we are. So I'm gonna go over these with powder just to kind of tone them down a little bit, make them a little gentle, especially the ones by my chin, because I always feel like they make me look like I have a goatee. A little striped goatee. I'll keep the ones on my forehead a little bit dark, because those are kind of supposed to be a little bit dark. The ones on the side of your face you kind of want to be softer. Okay. Should we do lips or should we do eyeballs? Let's do eyeballs. And I feel like this is important. No, I'm not going to put makeup on my eyeballs. You'd be surprised the number of things that I've seen actors do. Okay, so I'm going to ask if people can pick a color scheme. We can do this color scheme, which I guess is like greenish brown, greenish gold. We can do purple, or we can do pink. Does anyone have opinions, ideas, thoughts? Anything that they'd like to see? If there's like a color that you really like and you want me to use. We'll see if it actually shows me the chat. No? Silence? Oh, is it not going to show it to me? No, it's not going to show it to me. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to do purple. I like purple. Let's do a purple look. I've never done purple in Navi before. I've done green and I've done blue and I've done pink, but I've never done purple. Purple it is. Just baked cookies? What kind of cookies? I love cookies. Cookies are the best. Well, I don't know. I like cinnamon rolls a lot too. Cinnamon rolls and cookies are probably my favorite desserts. I'm actually not a super big ice cream person, which I know a lot of people are big ice cream people. I'm also not a big cake person. I really like cookies. I liked baked things. Bread. Okay. So, we've got some purple. The look that I just used is called the color, not the look. The color that I just used is called Tide Pool. And I'm just doing my creases with it. I can't really do super fancy eye makeup. I've never been able to, and I don't really care. I feel like my makeup turns out pretty good, even though I can't do the like super extreme winged eyeliner that people do. I'm much more of a softer, gentle kind of eyeliner type person. Oh, I'm missing quite a few stripes on the other side of my face. I'm glad that I caught that. That would have been kind of funny. Uh-oh, what have I done with my brush? There it is. I think this one was the one that I was using. Yeah. The purple feels very majestic, doesn't it? Kind of I'm like, ooh, royalty. I guess literally everyone in Soraya's family would be royalty though, right? Because like Ronal is the Tahik and Tonowari is the... I can never say the word. It's Olekan, clan leader. And she's like next in line. I don't know how that necessarily works because when we see like other clans in the first movie, we know that like they don't always have to be like the woman is the Tsahik and the man is the Olekkan clan leader, because we see oh my god, what is her Ikenyi, who's the Banshee rider woman, who's got the like purple banshee and she's got all the red body paint, which she's my favorite character design from the first movie. Dream cosplay. Yes, Olekkan. Thank you. But we see her and she's clearly not the Tsahik, she's the clan leader. So is she both? Does the Tsahik have to be a woman? How does that work? And I'm sure James knows all about it. I'm sure Jim Cameron knows all about it. But I am in fact not Jim Cameron. So I don't know. But I want to know. And I hope that he tells us. So the next color I'm going to use is I'm going to use the color called Spirit Tree, which is this light sparkly purple one. And I'm going to use it to blend the dark purple further in. It's very sparkly. I really like how sparkly these are. Sometimes you get a... Yes, I want a book too. Sometimes you get a sparkly makeup palette and you're like, oh, it's sparkly, but it's just not that sparkly. And it just like it's glitter that just falls off while you're trying to use it. And you're like, this is not sparkly enough for me. Okay, the next thing I'm going to use is I'm going to use the one that's called Tolkien Celebration. I was reading other things and like got distracted. Tolkien Celebration. I'm going to use that with my finger on the inner corners of my eye to get a more vibrant color. Okay. Oh, I like the purple. It's very nice. And then I'm going to use Penopura. I don't know, this sparkly pink one. Also on the inner corners of my eyes to give myself glitter. And then for my like here, I don't know, under my brow, I'm going to use the Soraya Shimmer from the blush, the Pandora Paradise palette. And just go very gently. We don't want a lot because we don't want to change the color of our skin. We just want to use it to help blend. It's super hard to blend when you're wearing body paint because you don't want to smear your body paint. Okay, so that's for the eyeshadow, and I'm gonna pull out some falsies and some eyeliner, which will not be NYX because I don't have that for them. I mean, it might be NYX and I don't know, but no, that's a lip liner. No, it's e.l.f. So where's my glue? Oh, there it is. And I'm gonna use, these are called Allure London Wispy Light. I'm not really particular on my false eyelashes. And I'm not particular on my eyeliner either because I hate doing eyeliner and I hate the way it looks on me. So I don't normally wear it. I really only, even when I'm doing this, I really only use it to hide where the line of my falsies is going. So as you can see, I don't do a winged liner. I just put it down so that my false eyelashes blend into my eyelid. And then I'll try, sometimes I'll do the bottom. But with body paint, this is mainly because your eye skin doesn't always become the color of your makeup. And so you kind of want to use it to like hide your seams. And I'm always super, super careful about body paint when I'm wearing contacts. Because one time I got body paint in my eye when I was wearing contacts. And I saw God. It hurt so bad. And I had to throw the contacts away because they're ruined. And I never want to experience that ever, ever again. So here we are. Never, ever again. You just be extra careful. I also find that when I'm using eyeliner, it actually makes my eyes smaller if I don't put false eyelashes on top. So I don't like to do it because I feel like I get like squinty eyes or something. The one thing that I do really want to do, and I haven't done, I forgot, is I want to put a bright spot right in the middle of my eye. And I'm going to use the Pearl of the Sea to do that. I think it's the brightest and the lightest color in the palettes. Yeah, so you can kind of see how it makes your eyelid have like a focus point. It makes your eyes look bigger. So you can see this eye looks slightly larger than this one because it has that bright spot. I just prefer that. Okay. Now we put glue on our eyelashes and then we stick them to our eyelids. Ah! I'm dropping things. What is falling? What is this? It's a piece of paper. I also love when you buy eyelashes, sometimes they'll give you these like teeny tiny bottles of eyelash glue, and I think it's adorable. Like, yes, this is so cute. I love it. Thank you for giving me this teeny tiny bottle of glue. Also, a good thing to know if you have a latex allergy, eyelash glue oftentimes contains liquid latex. Be very careful putting it on your face if you don't know what's in it. I've known people who have put on false eyelashes using eyelash glue, not knowing that it contained liquid latex and having allergy reactions. And no one wants that. No one at all. It sucks for everyone involved. You can buy eyelash glue that is latex free, but you need to make sure that it's latex free because they are not all latex free. It's always better to be safe rather than sorry, especially when it comes to allergies. I mean, just generally, it's better to be safe than sorry. Always err on the side of caution. That's the same thing I tell people about cosplay contacts too. I was sized for contacts when I was I don't know. I was sized for contacts at one point in my life. I don't wear prescription contacts normally. I do wear glasses. I don't. Contacts are kind of expensive, and I don't really need them because I'm not doing anything that requires that I wear them. So I don't wear contacts, but I was sized for contacts, and I did wear contacts for a while. So I can and am eligible to wear contacts. So when I buy cosplay contacts, I use that information that I got when I was prescribed contacts to buy cosplay contacts. For everyone out there who may watch this video after the fact, not for the 2 viewers that are watching it right now, I'm sure you know this, or even the 2 viewers if you didn't know this, do not buy contacts if you have not been sized for them. If you have an undiagnosed astigmatism, you can permanently damage your eye just by putting it in, even if there's nothing wrong with the contact. It's just the way that the shape of the contact is and the shape of your eye is. Everyone's eyeballs are a different shape, which is great. It's very unique and fun. But it also means that if your eyeballs are a different shape than the contact you put in, you could scratch your cornea and permanently damage your vision. Yeah. Simply not worth it. They look fun. They're cool. Not worth your vision. Nothing is ever worth your vision. If you ever put a contact in, you are sized for contacts, you bought contacts, whatever, and it starts to feel, I mean, all contacts are a little bit uncomfortable, but if it feels uncomfortable to the point where you're like doing this and you're like, oh, or your eyes are watering, or anything like that, take it out and throw it away. Just take it out. Just take it out and throw it away. Okay, I'm gonna use the pink highlighter stick now on my cheeks a little bit, where I have the blush, just to kind of blend it out a little bit, but also make it shiny. We always want to make it shiny. Make everything shiny. And then what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna oh wait, I'm gonna put my eyelashes on now that the glue is sticky. Yeah. Okay. Ooh, the glue is too sticky. It's sticking to me, and not my eyelid. Okay. Ta-da! Yay! Sparkly. Okay. And then I'm gonna put some mascara because it's super weird. Oh, this is poking me. Don't poke me. It's not very cool. When you have black eyelashes on the top, not black eyelashes on the bottom. I am actually using a NYX mascara. What's it called? It's called On the Rise. I don't know if they still make this. Don't follow my advice. Please don't use expired makeup. I just don't have anything else right now. Follow my advice on other things, but not on this. Using expired mascara is really bad because if you have oily skin, you're more prone to get styes. And styes are the worst. I don't know if anyone knows what a sty is, but a sty is basically a zit on your eyelid. It's the worst. Okay, to do my nose, I'm actually going to use the Ronal lipstick. Maybe, if I can get it open. Uh-oh. There we go. Because it's super pink, and I think that that's what we want, right? I think I'm going to use a brush, actually. Oh, wait. My bathroom is very small, and I run out of room. I have to put things away. I don't like to put things away. I'm lazy. Who was it who said that I'm lazy by nature? Was that John Mulaney? It might have been John Mulaney. It feels like a thing that John Mulaney would say. And I'm lazy by nature. Okay. What was I doing? Oh, pink nose. We're going to use this brush. It's a very small brush. And we're going to try very hard not to lose the shape of our lipstick that we have. We're going to get lipstick on our brush, and then we're going to be very careful and not crush the lipstick. Okay. And this is one of those moments where I have to look in the mirror and not in the phone because my phone is not high enough definition for me to do this. And I'm so sorry you all are getting a nice close-up shot of my nose. I'm wiping the brush off between each swipe because I don't want my lipstick to turn blue. I wish that they'd made this lipstick like slightly less neon pink. Like if it was just slightly less vibrant, I would actually wear it out. But if I put it on my face normally, I look ridiculous. Now, that is not to say that everyone who wears this looks ridiculous. I'm sure there are lots of people, especially women of color, who look stunning in this color lipstick. I just look like a clown. I don't like to look like a clown. At least not any more than I normally look like a clown. Like I kind of look a little bit like a clown all the time, but like I don't want to add to that, you know? Okay, on that note, I'm actually going to use the pink highlighter again, which is the Coral Reef color, and I'm going to also put it on my nose and give myself a sparkly nose. And I'm going to use my finger for this. And then I'm gonna also, because I want it to be more pink than it is, also gonna use the blush, the Illu Kiss. Are they Elu or Illu? Do we know? Has anyone seen anything about it being Illu or Elu? I keep calling it Illu because I think that's funnier. Pat, 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 pat. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Okay. Now we're going to go back in again with the shimmer and do more of that because I do want it to be sparkly. I love these highlighters. I think they're my favorite part of the collection. They are one of my favorite things in the collection. I think they are my favorite thing, and then my second favorite thing is the lip glosses, which I know a lot of people are like, I don't like the lip glosses, they're too sheer. And I was like, but they're so moisturizing. They feel so good on my lips. Okay, so now we've done our nose, we've done our lips, we've done our face. We're gonna do our lips next. I will not be using anything from the NYX stuff to do the white dots, simply because they don't have anything that would work for that in this collection. I am going to use the Natiri lipstick on my lips because I like it better. But I'm going to be very sparing with it because it is extremely dark and it is very pigmented. So. And I'm also one of those people who lives on the edge and I don't line my lips. So, fun fact. Never in my life have my hands felt this shaky. It does look a little bit like that right now, doesn't it? My plan is actually to put the Ronal like in the middle and blend it together so that they're like actually a color that I would wear. So that's probably good for that. And then I'm gonna do this. Yeah, like I said, it's super pigmented. It's extremely dark. I didn't use, as you can tell, I did not use hardly any. And it is still like, wow. You cannot claim that the lipsticks are not bright. That is for sure. So that is pretty much everything that I can do, except for lip gloss, which I'm gonna actually give to everyone to have a poll, because I can put any of these on top of this lip. So we've got purple, bluish purple, blue, we'll go with blue so you know what it is, and green. And I'm curious which one you guys would pick for this. I'm just gonna smear it on top of the lips that I already have done. And while everyone is thinking about that, I'm gonna do my dots, which I do. Thank you, Purple. Oh, thank you. I'm almost done. I just need to do my ears and my dots, which I'm doing right now. So I use my Kat Von D Super Pomade Whiteout to do my dots, or I use rhinestones. I prefer to use rhinestones, but I'm not going to do rhinestones on live because rhinestones take literally an hour. Last time I used rhinestones, it took me an hour just to apply rhinestones as the dots. So what I do is I take the back of one of my skinniest brushes and I just punch a little hole in my dots. And my Kat Von D. I love this stuff. It's some of the only stuff that I've found that doesn't make me greasy. In terms of like, sometimes when I do the white dots, it leaves like little rings of grease. It's very odd. And I'm just gonna do my dots like they were a freckle. I'm not gonna do super detailed lines for this. Hello, 4 people. There's 4 whole people. Oh my goodness. This is the most active live I've ever had. Thank you all for being here. It really makes me happy. It really makes me happy that people like to watch me do makeup and are willing to just like chill out with me while I do makeup. It reminds me of going to conventions and stuff, and all my friends and I will like be in the bathroom. It's only taking me an hour and 20 minutes. It's pretty good. With practice, anyone can do it. If you've done any makeup ever, I promise you it's not that different. If anything, I think people who do like actual makeup, who like get up every day and do makeup, could probably do it better than me. I just have a lot of practice. Because this is the only kind of makeup I do. So I'm pretty amazed at the NYX products so far. The only thing that has disappointed is the body paint. And I think that is because it is not, in my opinion, the right color for Navi, nor is it pigmented slash dense. I think maybe is the right word. It's not thick enough to really give you full coverage. It's extremely patchy. And I will definitely post on my Instagram and let you guys know if it stains. If it stained me after everything that I did to hope that it wouldn't stain me. Who's to say? We can only hope. Only hope for no stains. I'm almost done, and since I'm almost done, I'm going to actually ask you guys which outfit you think I should wear. I have a couple different options, so be prepared. Oh yeah, no, me too. I really hope it doesn't stain. But be prepared to answer some quick questions in the chat so that I can ask you about which elements of my fit I should wear. Because I have some plans for a fit. I didn't bring all of my Avatar costume pieces with me. I have quite a few. I left some of them at school in Chicago. I try to keep it so that I have one Avatar costume in both places, both at home with my parents and one in Chicago where I go to school. That way I can always make new content for you guys. And I love, one time I actually got all of my friends at school with me, two of my friends at school with me to dress up in my Avatar costume. So it's me and my friend Greta and my friend Molly, and we all got dressed up together as Navi and took pictures together. And someday I'll have those pictures. Today's not that day, but someday I'll have those pictures. Okay. That's probably good for dots. Like I said, I'm treating them more like freckles in this than I am treating them like a true pattern. If I were to do that, it would take a really long time, and I don't really want it to take a really long time. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to spray my face again so that it's all sealed. And if you want, we can pick out my outfit now, or so that you can see the pictures of it later, or I can do my ears on live. I don't have to do my ears on live. They'll take a little while and they're probably not very entertaining to watch. So it's totally up to you guys if you want to like duck out, or if you got plans, or you want to like go to bed. I don't know where everyone is located, so just let me know. Ooh, I got that in my mouth. Tastes surprisingly okay. A little chemically, but not too bad. And I got one vote for the pinky purple lipstick gloss, so we'll do that one. Okay, so I'm gonna go grab the costume pieces. I will be right back. Please don't leave. It'll take me 2 seconds. Okay, so we'll start with wigs. I have 2 wigs. I have my Soraya wig, which is brown, wavy, right? And my other wig, which is very similar to Soraya, but it is black and it's got like beads and some other stuff in it. So that's the first one. These are the only 2 wigs that I have right now. Curie is still in progress. Working on that. She's got surprisingly more in her hair than you think. Do we have any votes? Beads. Okay, we got 1 vote for beads. For shirts, I have this neck piece that has the Tree of Souls on it that I made. It's pretty fun. It's leather. I would try to make it look like the trees are going down. Okay, awesome. Beads wig it is. And we have Soraya's top because, like I said, I didn't bring in everything, but I have this, whoops, which is Soraya's top, which I realize you can't see super good in a lot of the pictures, but like this is what it looks like up close. So those are the tops. Shirts, bras, I don't know. And then for bottoms, we've got the grass skirt, which is like Soraya's grass skirt. She wears like a grass type thing. And we've got the traditional, regular old Omatakaya type loincloth thing. Yeah, those are the choices. So we've got the black wig with the beads. I have a vote for the Soraya top. You have a vote. We have votes for bottoms. Traditional rope bottoms is my vote. Okay. Does any of our other viewers? I know we have 3 other people. I can see you there. Oh. No? I also have some jewelry. Oh, also vote for the Soraya top. Okay, cool. So do we have another vote for the bottoms, or are we going with the rope bottoms? As you guys are pondering that, I'm gonna go grab my jewelry, and you guys can tell me if you think I should wear some jewelry. Awesome. Okay. So I also have some decorative things. Because what is a Navi character without a little bit of decoration? And you guys can let me know if you think that this would be fun. I have the visors, like they wear to ride the banshees. I have a visor. I have several different kinds of necklaces, obviously. Jewelry fits the Makina vibe. I agree. I also think jewelry fits the Makina vibe. I have a necklace that has a banshee on it. Ooh. I don't know if you can see how well you can see the banshee. So we've got the banshee necklace. I have several banshee necklaces actually. We've got this banshee necklace, which is like a choker. This one's like a choker, right? And then we've got my favorite, the Taruk necklace, which you can kind of see. Yeah, there we go. The Taruk. So, any votes? Any thoughts on that? I made all of the stuff that goes with my costumes, actually. The beads I got from Animal Kingdom. They don't make them anymore, actually. They don't have these beads anymore. But okay, Banshee Choker gets a vote. I agree. This one's my favorite necklace. I actually wore it when I went to Disney World. It's one of my faves. I think it looks so pretty. It's like my favorite piece of jewelry. And I'll wear some earrings, but I only wear 2 pairs of earrings when I do this, and because all of my other ones are not clean right now, and they're these. So I'll actually put them in later when I put my ears on. But since you guys are all here still, I can put my clothes on and give you like a full look sans ears/wig. Oh, thank you. I am wearing my Metkina tail and everything, and I can show you all how I put my Metkina arms and things on, because I know that that was a huge Question with my TikTok. A lot of people were like, how did you get your arms to be wide like that? So I can show you all how I did that. So since I have to put my clothes on before I put my wig and everything on anyways, I can do that. So I need this to be a little bit tighter. My one pet peeve about Navi clothing, I think it's beautiful all the time. I love the way it looks. But my one pet peeve is that they all wear halter top, like everything, halter everything. And I'm not a halter top girl. I don't like things hanging on my neck type girl. And I genuinely don't know how they can stand it. It would drive me insane. So gross. Gross to the halter tops. I say no to halter tops. That's why all of my like OCs don't have halter tops. They're like, they wear collars or they wear like across the shoulder things, because I find it to be particularly uncomfortable. Yeah, well, and all of their clothes are super heavy too. Like, why? They're wearing these like brights, like get this like fully beaded, like heavy thing, and they're like, you know what we should do? We should make it a halter top. And that's how you know that no one is really wearing it, because no actress in their right mind would ever be like, yeah, you know what, I want a beaded halter top. No, that's insanity. The also fun fact about my Navi stuff is all of it like ties together. None of it is like velcroed or like snapped in place, unless it's related to the bodysuits, because the bodysuits have to be more practical. But the clothes are actually like how a Navi person would wear clothes. They're very accurate to their clothing. Okay. So I can't put the wig on because I have to put my ears on before I put the wig on. But I think I'm also going to wear a lower necklace. Let's do this one. Make it really, really out there. Add some depth. But I can't show you how I do my arms and legs to look like the Met Queen, because I know that was a really, really common question, and a lot of people were really curious how I did that. So I'll be right back. So my arms and legs are actually just pieces of upholstery foam that I just shove in my tights. And before I do that, I'm going to put some of, Soraya has some armbands, and I think they would look kind of fun with this. So I'm going to put those on. But yeah, I literally just, I don't know how thick, I think this is 2-inch upholstery foam. I cut it with a electric knife, and then I just put it, shove it in my tights. That is how I do that. It is super easy. It is very forgiving because, like, even if it's kind of lumpy, like you can see, this is kind of lumpy. The force of the tights will actually stretch it to be the right smoothness, so they will smooth it out. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. Got arms, legs. Okay, so I'll put my arms in so you guys can see. This one is my left arm. And what I did when I cut it out is I just put my hand on it and I traced around my arm where I wanted it to be. So I just lift this up and I hold it. It's kind of hard to do the hand ones. It's a lot easier to do the ones on your feet or your legs. And I just wiggle it in. So it just gets wiggled in. And sometimes if you like pull the tights, you like shove it down. That helps a little bit. You can kind of, once it's in there, you can kind of like situate it, just mess with it a little bit. It's hard to get it sometimes to the right side. You kind of have to go in there and do this with it. And you stick your hand down your other sleeve. And sometimes it'll get turned around, so then you have to go in and flip it over. But it's super comfortable. My biggest concern is I was initially considered doing it out of Warbla or like a thermoplastic type situation, because those are really reliable for the most part. unless it's really hot outside, and then they're not super reliable. But for the most part, they're pretty reliable. And they'll definitely easily give you the shape you want. But they have no mobility. And I like to be able to move my wrists. And as you can see, I can literally move the fin with my wrist with the way that it is now. The only downside about this is that I have this fear that I will not be able to wear it in the water, which I really, really would like to do with my Tsureya costume. I really, really want to wear it in an underwater photo shoot. So I don't know if that will be possible with upholstery foam, but then again, I can always just make different ones for that. So now we've got to shove this arm in. All right. Yeah, so is there any questions? Does anyone want to see my tail? I know a lot of people also were really curious about that, or have any questions about my tail. For some reason that is like really confusing to people. It is not, I promise it's not complicated. It's the same way that I made the arms. It's upholstery foam and it's a tube filled with fiberfill, like with stuffing. It is super self-explanatory, and any tutorial on YouTube can tell you how to make a tail. I used elastic. It's held on, whoops, you can't see. Hold on, let me tilt my camera down. It's held on with elastic. So it's just like an elastic waist. And I poked a little hole in the bodysuit and thread the elastic through it. That is all that there is to it. It is not a super elaborate secret thing. I just make them super long so that they sway when I walk. Because if they're long, then they have a little bit of weight, and then if they're a little heavy, then they have a little bit of motion, which I think is fun and adds to the realism of it. No. I have had people step on it a lot, though. That is really, really annoying. When I've been at conventions, I've had people step on it on purpose to like stop me and things for photos, which is really uncool, and you should never, ever do that. If someone is wearing a costume and you really like their costume and you want to take a picture of them, please do not step on them. I've had people grab me, I've had people step on me, I've had people like pull my wig. Like I have, obviously Navi have those huge braids that hang down, right? And I've had people yank that, which is really, really painful, actually, because the wig is attached to my head. Like it's pinned into my head, right? So that hurts if you do that. If anyone is wearing something that is attached to their costume, do not grab it. Actually, don't grab people in general. Just maybe don't. Like, it's uncool. So the one thing I did forget to do on my makeup, which I will do right now, and I realized this as I was thinking about ears, is I did not blush my ears. All Navi have pink ears, which I think is really cute and fun. A nice little fun fact. And so I'm gonna give myself some pink ears, because we all need a little bit of pink in our lives. What's not to love about pink? This also helps so that you don't have to paint the inside of your ear blue, which really sucks. I did that once and I couldn't get it out. And I had like this shell of my ear, this like part that's not painted right now, was blue for like a week. Don't recommend, don't do that. But if you do this, it makes your ears pink, just a little pink. So I actually, it is now, what time is it? Since it's now 9 o'clock, I'm not going to put prosthetic ears on. I'm just going to use my regular old, they're like hook-ons, they don't glue or anything. So I can do that on live because it won't take very long. So, got this wig. This was the wig you guys asked for. Oh. Yeah. This is my original Navi wig that I wear, that I've worn with all my competition pieces and stuff. I love it. It's very fun. And I can take out this has a braid in it right now so that it doesn't get tangled. So there, now it's all loose. And let me go grab my hook-on ears really quick. Ooh, this got all wrapped up in there. Where are you? There we go. He's got the front. Let me go grab my hook-on ears and I'll hook them on, and then I will be all done. Ooh, there's lots of bobby pins in that. So these are the ears that I normally wear because they are very easy to wear and I am lazy. Oh yeah, thank you. So like that. And then what I like to do is I also like to just pull my hair around them sometimes because it makes my ears look higher on my head, I guess, maybe is the word. Because knobby ears are really high on their heads. Okay. And the other thing about these ears is since they don't stay anywhere ever, I bobby pin them into my wig. So they do that. They do blend really well. They blend better with this wig than with Soraya. Soraya doesn't have hair that hangs down in the front, and so when I wear ears with her, it looks a lot less natural. What was I gonna do? Oh, I was gonna put earrings in, if I can manage it. I got my ears pierced at Claire's when I was like, I don't know, 9. You know how everyone gets their ears pierced at Claire's? Because everyone gets their ears pierced at Claire's when they're a kid. And it was a mistake. I should not have done that. Because now my ears are permanently messed up. Okay. So, this is the final look. I used all the NYX cosmetic stuff, except for I didn't use 2 of the highlighters and some of the lip glosses because I didn't feel like I should use multiple lip glosses. That doesn't really work. And this is what the outfit is. So I'll pan up and down so you guys can see. This is the fit. I'm not gonna put my gloves on because I can't use my phone and stuff without them on. But yeah. Thank you everyone who watched, and thanks to everyone who like came and then left. And if you guys, oh, did it go? Did it go away and come back? If anyone watches this video after the fact, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you all again soon. And I will post pictures of this look on my Instagram. Thank you, and thank you for watching. Have a good night, everyone. Bye bye.